So let's do that again. Thank you. You guys are, so come on, lengthen. All right, so I'm just gonna go through that whole thing. All right, now push. So we were okay. I was JK, JK.
Gotta, yeah, trim those edges.
All right, so, and then if you can't trim that, just delete it. All right, I think we're so we were good. I think we're rocking and rolling here. So, I'll clean this up. A couple things I'll do then, and I need to do the line weights. So let's do that again. That fun exercise. It actually was helpful to me because when I joined it wouldn't join, which then told me there was an error going on. So that was actually very helpful for me, and it's probably a good. It's like wearing your seatbelt. If you join things that they don't join, then they're not all attached properly. All right, so there we go. So that's good. Let's do the same to the other one. We're going to join these four pieces. All right, and I think we're good. So now I'm gonna now if your line weights aren't working, what you want to do then is go here and we'll go to make sure that we have our line weight selected. And then you want to make sure it's turned on here. The reason why people turn it off and on, it's very helpful because when you're in CAD, you kind of need the precision, but then there are times when you want to see that line weight and you want it off and on. So I'm going to go ahead and select these lines. And remember, you're going to want to do anything where there's a break in this object. You're going to want to, as if you can see through it, there's a hole in there. That's the part. So you want to make sure that we go ahead and do the line weight. And so we have decided that 0.5 is probably the best, even though it looks pretty thick on here. When we print it out, it seems to work very well. All right. So my little pet peeve is you want to try to avoid overlapping your lines as much as possible. So you want it as much, and sometimes it's not realistic, but this is acceptable. You could do that in there. But then again, if you want to move it out, you could just move it out like that. I probably want to increase my size of my font just a little bit. So I'll do that also, but let's just come on, let go. All right, snapping. All right, so let's add these dimensions and then we're going to essentially be done. Oh, let's just finish the regular radiuses here. And again, if you're doing things like radiuses, you can just push enter and it'll just redo the last command that you were doing. So then there's this one. Don't like that. I don't care for that, but that's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and change the, if you notice it's radius 2.00, we're at 0.000, which is like the size of a human hair. Let's change that. So typically I would do this before I start the drawing, but I would go here to dimension, help me out here, format, dimension styles, set current, go to modify. Let's go to primary units, change it to 0.00 for hundredths. And then I'm also going to just make this a little bit bigger, fit. I'm going to try let's try 1.5. And I do this because if you do it here as overall scale, you'll notice that the arrows, everything scales, the gaps, everything scales at the same rate. So everything is proportionally correct. I don't think I'm missing anything here. I'll say close, and there we go. So I think I'm doing pretty well here. I think I'm just going to stop the demo there because I'm essentially done. There's a couple things I need to clean up. Let's go ahead and type in our text. So there's a different way. I can type in TEXT or I can do this. Yeah, so the first thing is what I would first do is just make sure I'm reading this. First read it, first corner. So this is where it's going to be. Let's see if there's there's a width. I'm not sure the best way for you to center it. I have to be honest with you. And then I'm going to type in what is this? This is chapter 3, indexing base. And then this is your name. And then I'll click out of here. So now it's just goofy. So what I typically would do then is come over here. I think you can just right click and also get to the properties on the size. So it's probably in the justification. So let's just try 1 and see where we are. Okay, that's not bad. A little big, but I think we're okay. And then justify. So yeah, so what I did is I right clicked and I said quick properties and it gave me this. I can do the same over here in properties. The quick properties is typically just much more relevant to what you're working on, because sometimes you just have to dig around and find it. I'm pretty much done. I've got a couple things I got to fix, but I think we're pretty much there for this demo.